frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson with you. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Scott Craig is with us from Katie's in Mid-City. Gotta love Katie's. Iberville, corner Talamacus, a few blocks behind Angelo Bracato's ice cream joint, right in the heart of Mid-City. Also, Francesca Deli, right off Canal Boulevard, Harrison Avenue, in between Canal Boulevard and West End. Scott, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You didn't. It's all good.
That break train came down the tracks and took us out.
Yeah, we were talking about the Saints, and my opinion was they needed to draft a large receiver, a tall receiver, big-bodied receiver for Spencer Rattler, and not draft a quarterback. Wait till next year, even though I knew ahead of time. I've known for a little while from a friend close to the situation, a family member, that Arch Manning is not coming out next year. So he's not going to be a Saint next year. He's staying at Texas. Mannings don't come out of school early. They just don't. They don't need the money, first of all. And he's getting paid at Texas like a ton of money. So
yeah, he's making millions of dollars every year. Yep.
Still, there's a ton of quarterbacks coming out next year, and including Nuss. And by the way, shame on all you people out there that started those rumors about Nussmeier being injured without doing your homework.
Yeah. Well, one guy in particular on social media carted off the field, all this stuff. Yeah. And there are a lot of parody sites saying stuff. So, you obviously have to realize it's a parody site. Scott, I don't know. I think Kellen Moore, it's sort of like Sean Payton. He comes in and Aaron Brooks is out. There was not even a mention of Aaron Brooks. There wasn't a mention of him coming back. Aaron Brooks was simply out. Sean Payton was like, I'm not hooking my wagon to Aaron Brooks for whatever reasons, right or wrong. He brings in his own guy, Drew Brees. The rest is history. Kellen Moore, for whatever reasons, I don't think he was sold on Spencer Rattler necessarily, and that's why the Saints drafted a quarterback. So Kellen Moore is sort of sending out a message right there. I don't think that Spencer Rattler is has to hear the message from you or me. But if you're Spencer Rattler or Hainer and you're like, boy, this team just drafted a QB, what's that say about me? Like they still have question marks. So, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. But the problem is in the NFL, quarterback's the single most important position. And if, you got three groups of QBs, you got the premier guys, you got the guys that you can win with, and then you got about a dozen quarterbacks that start for NFL teams, Scott, that you can't win with. There are about 20 quarterbacks in the world that can lead NFL teams, like 20. And I'm sure there are more that are undiscovered, might be cutting grass, but a third are elite, the next third are viable, and the bottom third can't play.
All right, Corey, what's the other position you can't? It's the second most important position on the team.
It gets a little watered down after that. I think it's like a tie, like left tackle, defensive end,
Center. And last year, they were rolling 2-0 until they lost McCoy. And I was sitting at the bar at Katie's with my GM, and I said, that's the end of the season right there. And they lost to the Eagles that day, and they went on a bad run after that. You can't lose your center. And right now, you won't even see McCoy play. He might take a snap or two Sunday night, but they shouldn't even play McCoy. He cannot get hurt because they have the backup would be Will Clapp, which, he's a serviceable backup, but he's a better guard, but they signed, I think they brought Patrick back. He could play center, but Patrick played last year during the losing streak. So you can't lose your center. And I think the defense is going to be good. I really think the defense is going to win some ball games for them. But the running game has got to be really good because the passing game is going to struggle because they do not have the receivers.
Hey, Scott, you know what a sucker bet is, right?
A sucker bet?
Yeah.
I know exactly what it is.
The Saints over-under is like 4.5.
Yeah.
The sucker bet is the over. Without a doubt, by definition, for everyone, especially locally, the sucker bet locally is the Saints and the over. Everyone's going 4.5. That's a joke. Of course, the Saints are going to do better than 4.5. If I were a betting man, and I'm not saying the Saints are going to, I'm picking the Saints 6-11. Okay.
I think the defense can win 4 games.
But with that said, with me saying the Saints are 6-11, if I were betting, I would pick the under just because of the sucker bet concept. And so my point is, I wouldn't be shocked if the Saints only win like 3 or 4 games this year. That I'll tell you this, they got a better chance of winning 3 or 4 than 8.
Oh yeah, there's no question about that. But I think they'll win 5 or 6 games.
I think so too.
Just because of the defense, Corey.
Yeah, I don't know about why.
Games on the schedule.
I don't know about why, but I think 5 or 6. But I wouldn't be shocked if they only win 4.
If I were to bet that, and it's not because I'm a fan, I would bet the over because I think they can win 5 games. I do. Because the defense is good enough to win 5 games. And if Kellen Moore, who is a very good coach, can run the ball 65, 70% of the time, and they can get a good running game going, this team can win.
But that's the NFL. By week 4, teams are going to load the box, force them to throw, and they're not going to have the running game anymore. There's a reason that over-under is 4.5. It's not for poops and giggles. Those Vegas guys have money on the line. They know what they're talking about. Scott, I'll break it down this way real quick before we go, and I'll let you have the last word. I think the Saints are going to win 5 or 6 games. I think they're going to get blown out in 5 or 6 games. And I think they're going to lose 5 or 6 games close, like tight, last play, in it in the fourth quarter, and just end up losing. So that's how I come up with, 5 and 6.
And hold on a minute. Groupie can win some games for him. Groupie's turning into a really good NFL kicker. I think he's missed 1 kick in camp.
Can he punt?
And it was in the rain.
Can he punt?
No, he can't punt, but they've got a punter.
No, I don't know who the punter is.
Gillikin.
I guess it's unbelievable that they didn't sign.
A new punter.
It's unreal they didn't sign Morstead, but he's better off in San Fran, end his career in the Bay Area, and maybe go to a Super Bowl.
They should have never got rid of Morstead.
No, they never should have got rid of Morstead.
Don't worry about it.
Yep. There's Blue Boy barking up a storm, Scott.
Blue Boy.
See you next week, brother.
Woof, woof, woof.
Woof, woof, woof. That's Scott Craig from Katie's.
Thanks,
Thanks, Scott. You're the man, brother. Thank you. That's Scott Craig from Katie's. Scott Craig from Francesca Deli. Be there. Have a great weekend. See you Monday. Down, Blue.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson.
Blue Boy.
On TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel
Down,
333.
buddy.
Also on YouTube. On radio at
Blue
Nola Talk
boy.
93.9
Be a good
FM.
boy.
WSLA New Orleans. It's 6 p.m.
Good boy.